in the 70s, say probably 1975. Mountain bikes hadn't really been invented. Nobody'd heard of them yet.
And the locals, sort of the hippie generation that had come to this mining town.
I got a disco up the mountain.
Started grabbing these old paperboy bikes made for teenagers back in the late 50s.
See this frame right here? It cost me $5.
And then I think somebody with one beer in one hand, leaning on their bike with the other, said, hey, we ought to race these bikes.
Man, there was racing going on and everything. And they went, okay, man. They blew it up. But I'll tell you, one of the most impressive guys that I saw out there was Mike Rust.
Mike was a very strong rider and was able to do things on his bike that impressed people.
He really excelled in the gnarly technical stuff. And he got well known for being the master of the conversion, where you take an old cruiser and put cantilever brakes on it, put a derailleur hanger on it, and convert it for off-road.
He worked for Murdoch at Bicycles, etc.
Oh, no, nothing is under control. If everything were under control, it wouldn't be any fun.
And could not keep up with the demand of having to build all the bikes. And a lot of those ideas and parts made it to the world level of manufacturing. And when you went and bought a bike at a bike shop, it had a version of what was being made here in Crested Butte.
We were exploring the limits of bicycles, developing an off-road ethic and a way of behaving. There was no one around to tell you how to do any of this at the time. It was a big experiment.
In Salida, the Rust brothers were into the manufacturing of high-wheelers, or what people call penny farthings.
I saw that high-wheel bike for the first time, and I said, wow, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And Mike looked at me and just said, oh, ride the thing. He gives me the bike, I look to him, and I'm thinking that he's gonna go ahead and give me a lesson on it. And there's no lesson.
He really liked to get people up on an ordinary without telling them how to get off.
His character came before money. Success was a great design. Success was an innovation, something that worked better.
This idea that you can actually make a lot of what you need. There was an increasing disillusionment with our society and with the way that Americans live.
He thought America was getting lazy, and he didn't like people wasting time or wasting effort or wasting things in general.
A strong sense that people don't need so much to have a good life.
He wanted to be out where he couldn't hear his neighbor, do whatever he wanted to do. He didn't want to be bothered by anybody else.
I remember that was a Friday morning. I was getting ready to go to work, and Mom called and said, I just heard this thing on the TV that somebody missing in Saguache, and they described him as this white-haired guy and so on and so forth. And she said, I just know it's Mike.
We set up searches with dirt bikes and ATVs around his residence.
We also went ahead and brought in an airplane. We also had some helicopters, and we were just having no success whatsoever. One of the dog teams came up with an area that they found somewhat suspicious. A vest was found, a partial piece of what appeared to be a pistol handle, and then also some blood was found in that area around that vest. We were able to make a determination that that blood did come from Michael Rust.
I want to find Michael and bring this closure for the Rust family because they deserve it. You know, his mom passed away with that on her heart. And if there's something I can do out there to turn another rock, I'm gonna do it.
I just feel like if we're not down here and letting it be known, what happens to anybody that gets forgotten about, you know? I mean, it gets forgotten about. And I can't let that happen.